TF2 is a funny game. If you've played a team-based competitive video game in the last 2 decades, you've probably heard of the term ultimate or ultimate ability. These are powerful game or player-altering abilities that take time and persistence to build up, but have massive potential to turn the tides in your favor. There are offensive, defensive, and supportive ultimates in almost all the games that contain them, and they all have their time and place. But what if TF2 had ultimates? Beginning development in 1998, Team Fortress 2 didn't have the major influences modern gaming has today. In fact, it actually started off as a gritty, realistic shooter. After spending 9 years in development, it was molded into the product we all know and love today. But what if we took a modern-day concept and instituted it into TF2? I think there are 2 ways this could go. The ultimates of Valorant, where you gain points off of earning kills, dying, and defusing or planting. There's also a collectible orb that nets you 1 point every time you pick it up, but at great risk to yourself. On the other hand, and a bit closer to TF2, there's ultimates in Overwatch. You earn these through doing damage or healing, and over the passage of time. In my personal opinion, I think the ultimates of Overwatch fit much more nicely into the schema of TF2. The decisive, tactical teamwork and precise gunplay of Valorant is about as far away from TF2's gameplay as I am to finding financial stability. So, in this first episode, I asked the question, what if the Scout had an ultimate? This scraggly mercenary is probably the most accurate depiction of a Bostonian I've ever had the pleasure to witness. The fast-talking, quick-hitting speedster can almost read all the words in a picture book. Fortunately for him, this merc's outworks slinging iron and doesn't have to put wrinkles in his brain trying to figure out why there are warning labels on his energy drinks. Scout's strength comes from his breakneck mobility and slippery escapades he can pull off.
You can't hit what ain't there!
Any dedicated player of this class will leave you wondering why you keep coming back to this game after so long. Since Scout is classified as an offensive class, these ultimate ability concepts will focus on enhancing his combat potential. Idea 1. Radioactivity. It's no secret that the secret ingredient in bonk is radiation, and while I'm no nuclear physicist, its theoretical physical side effects could occur. However, instead of just getting cancer, the radiation also empowers the Scout. This would grant him an immunity to critical hits and a constant passive health regeneration, as well as a damaging aura similar to the toxic RTD effect, all for 12 seconds. As Scout, you can pretty much die to a stiff breeze, and chip damage will put you under a lot of important thresholds. As annoying as it is to watch the 122 health Scout grab a pack, there's security in having as much survivability as possible. And just to top it all off, he heals 50 HP every kill and 25 per assist. This ultimate aims to address these weaknesses while empowering him to be more aggressive and forcing him to be up close and personal to get the most out of this ability. The crit resistance is in place as insurance, so right as you activate your ultimate, you don't accidentally eat a Crockett. This also allows counterplay if a medic on the other team is running the crit streak, or there are other sources of guaranteed crits lurking there. Idea 2. Speed Freak. If there's one thing Scout's known for, it's his mother's photography. His movement. Nearly half of Scout's weapons function as mobility-enhancing tools, so it makes sense if an ultimate raises it to an even greater level. And while I said Speed Freak, it does more than just make Scout run faster. Activating this gives him 2 extra jumps to juke and jumble his opponents, while also decreasing the spread on his shotguns by 30%. Scout can soar to the heights he pleases while being less constrained by his regular range. Along with that, a small speed boost of 10% will be applied. This is equivalent to the boost you'll receive in humiliation time, if you're on the winning team. Every kill you get reloads half your ammo in your primary weapon instantly, so you don't have to waste your precious time reloading. I considered adding an airstrafe control increase, but the extra mid-air jumps pretty much allow you that anyways. Finally, as a cherry on top to the Scout cake, he'll also get a 20% firing speed boost so you can really feel the wind on your face as you replace the free-to-play heavy stomach contents from sandwiches to lead. Idea 3. Batman. Well, I've covered speed and survivability, so what's left but damage? What can be done with that?
You're like a car crash in slow motion. It's like I'm watching you fly through a windshield. Oh hey! You suck!
Okay, so Scout's pretty strong already, and I can't in good conscience make it so light classes get one-shotted, because nobody likes a one-shot. But what's left there to change about Scout? Well, since this is the last one, I figure we can go a little crazy. Introducing the Batman. This ultimate would transform Scout into a baseball-themed madman, locking him into using a baseball bat and a glove. If this seems just a little bit limiting, well, hold your horses. By activating his ultimate, Scout's arm muscles quadruple in size, and he can finally swing for 65 damage at the regular rate, just like the other mercenaries can. But that's not all. If you didn't know, early in Scout's development, Valve thought about giving him a baseball glove that would work similar to an air blast. Well, this revisits that old idea and gives Scout the ability to catch and store projectiles. A left click will perform a regular melee swing, but right clicking will allow you to reach out and grab projectiles, if you time it right. Scout stores these in his glove. He can then use his bat to send the projectile to the location of your crosshair, boosting the projectile with mini crit damage. And if you happen to catch a sweet juicy crit, yep, you can send that one back too. I think a limit of 5 projectiles in the glove is balanced. Trying to go over that will result in a mechanic similar to the Beggar's Bazooka's Overload, which turns Scout into a walking bomb, but with reduced self-damage. However, nobody's going to put themselves in the path of a crit projectile if they don't have the health to back it up. That's why Scout in this form gets boosted to 200 HP, and with the ability to be overhealed at 300. Yikes! For the specially skilled and aware players, the special properties of the projectiles are also retained when you send them back. For example, capturing a shot from the flare gun will crit burning enemies, sending a crossbow bolt can heal allies, and the loose cannon can still double dunk if you can time the shot right. This, I think, will add an extra tier of complexity that the attentive player can capitalize heavily on. Well, those are all the ideas I've cooked up for Scout. Hopefully one of them tickles your fancy and can match your playstyle. I had a lot of fun coming up with these, and I think there's a future with this series. 8 more episodes at least. Thanks for watching, and if you made it this far in the video, thank you for your time. This is my first real foray into content creation, and I'm still trying to find my style. If you like what you see, comment what it is so I can keep doing it. If you hated it, tell me to stop. Anyways, that's all folks, and I'll see you in the next one.